Hey, what's up guys? Under sports psychology, today we are talking about arousal, type of anxieties, and stress. Let's start from arousal. So training environment provides unfamiliar and unknown circumstances, and that creates multiple opportunities for an athlete to test himself and herself and get evaluated for effectiveness. For example, an Olympic lifter going for his or her competition, not knowing the opponent, the time of lift, and the kind of environment he or she is going to get exposed to. Right? So this uncertain circumstance gives this lifter enough opportunities to check his or her mettle and at the same time training effectiveness. Athletic performance is frequently affected by arousal, anxiety, or stress. Also, these terms are often used interchangeably. However, they are different within the same construct. So what does arousal really mean? Arousal is a blend of psychological and physiological activation of an individual and refers to the intensity of the motivation of this individual at any given moment. For example, a psyched up athlete may experience tremendous mental activation characterized by positive thoughts and a great sense of control. Whereas a flat athlete could experience minimal mental activation characterized by wandering thoughts and a sense of insecurity and feeling lost. Arousal is simply a measurement of activation and can be indexed by metrics such as heart rate, blood pressure, electroencephalography, electromyography, catecholamine levels, and self-report instruments such as activation and deactivation checklist. Let's talk about anxiety now. Anxiety is a subcategory of arousal, and it is negatively perceived emotional state characterized by fear, worry, apprehensions, nervousness, etc. Anxiety is further divided into 4 subcategories, and they are known as state anxiety, trait anxiety, cognitive anxiety, and somatic anxiety. Cognitive anxiety. Cognitive anxiety is all about negative perception and negative thought process of a situation. Examples of cognitive anxiety: fear of losing control, fear of injury, fear of negative evaluation by others, poor concentration, confusion, frightening thoughts, etc. Somatic anxiety. Somatic anxiety is all about physical reaction of the body to a particular situation. For example, tense muscles, tachycardia, upset stomach, dry mouths. And the difference between cognitive anxiety and somatic anxiety is in cognitive anxiety, a person perceives the situation threatful. So it's all mental how the person is perceiving the situation. Whereas in somatic anxiety, how our body reacts to a situation matters. State anxiety. It is not a permanent state of anxiety, but it is the actual experience of apprehension. As the word defines itself, state anxiety. State anxiety has to do with the kind of state or a circumstance an athlete is in. So imagine a boxer entering boxing ring to face his or her opponent, and at this particular state, experiencing apprehension, uncertainty, nervousness. State anxiety on athletic performance can be positive, can be negative, or indifferent, depending on factors such as skill level of the athlete, personality of the athlete, and the complexity of the task to be performed. Trait anxiety. Trait anxiety is a personality characteristic or personality trait. People with trait anxiety will perceive a situation threatening. People with high level of trait anxiety tend to flood their attentional capacity to task irrelevant cognitions such as thought of failure, catastrophe, or ego-oriented concerns. In simple terms, an athlete with low trait anxiety can handle a pressure situation better because this athlete wouldn't focus on task irrelevant cognitions. Let's talk about stress now. Stress is defined as substantial imbalance between demand and response capability under conditions where not meeting the demand has an important consequence. For an example, an athlete has practiced only power snatching 200 laps, but on a specific day, this athlete has to power snatch 210 or 220 lbs. So there is a gap between the demand and the response capability of this athlete. That means this athlete is going to go through some level of stress. If the stress is negative, then it is called distress. And if the stress is positive, it is called eustress. Both distress and eustress generate arousal, but only when the perception of the stressor is negative, it also generates anxiety. Hope this was helpful. I'll see you again with more knowledge and more topic.